हेलो फ्रेंड्स, अवर गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। मैं तिलकराज शर्मा, पीएचडी रिसर्च स्कॉलर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पॉलिटिकल साइंस, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ जम्मू। आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं अपने यूट्यूब चैनल पे और आशा करता हूं कि आप सब कुशल मंगल होंगे। दोस्तों, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे माफ़ी मांगना चाहता हूं कि पिछले काफ़ी लंबे समय से मैंने अपने चैनल पे कोई वीडियो अपलोड नहीं किया and I'm getting frequent calls for that also. So without wasting any time, I'm just apologizing for delaying my videos and for non-commitment to the cause what for which we are here. So अभी तक हमने जो पढ़ा है अपने इसमें इंडियन पॉलिटी के सेक्शन में, दैट इज़ व्हाट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज़, व्हाई इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट, व्हाट इज़ इट्स हिस्टोरिकल लेगेसी. Then we jump to fundamental rights portion, like what fundamental rights are, from which article to which article. Then we talk about Article 12, Article 13, Article 14 in detail. And for that, if you have any query, you can feel free to ask me any question. You can put that on your comment sections. So without wasting any time, let's start with today's lecture. The lecture is Golden Triangle. Now, what is Golden Triangle? That's very important to know. Please note down these three articles: Article 21, Article 14, and Article 19. Have patience. I said Article 14, 19, and 21. You need to know this. And these articles are called Golden Triangle. Now, what is this Golden Triangle? How the theory of Golden Triangle emerged, and what is its significant, and what kind of question it can ask. So let's understand this. The Golden Triangle of our Constitution is composed of, as I already said, Article 14, 19, and 21. Incorporation of such trinity in our paramount parchment is for the purpose क्या है अब इसका, प्लीज नोट दिस. पर्पस क्या रहेगा? Purpose is for paving such a path for the people of India which may see them close to the trinity of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Please make sure what I am saying. To close to the trinity. Trinity क्या है? Liberty, equality, fraternity. यहाँ तक लाने के लिए हमने गोल्डन ट्राइंगल का कॉन्सेप्ट दिया. अब ये गोल्डन ट्राइंगल का केस, दिस कॉन्सेप्ट किस तरह से एमर्ज होता है, विल बी स्टडिंग दैट. नाउ बिफोर मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, let's talk about in brief what Article 14 is all about, what Article 15 is all about, 19 is all about, and what Article 21 is all about. So when we talk about Article 14, Article 14 writes about that equality before law means what? That state shall not deny any person equality before law or the equal protection of law, and that too within the territorial limits of India. Within the territorial limits of India. The territorial limits of India is a subjective term. One is that the territory, you can say what India we can assume. So, but leave that concept. The territory of India is a subjective term, not subjective, but it is a definitional term, then we define in later. The prohibition on the ground of race, caste, religion, sex, place of birth. Please note these 5 things. Limits of India are the prohibition on the grounds of RCRSP. That is what? On ground of race, caste, religion, sex or place of birth. Because मैं आपको क्यों कह रहा हूँ कि इनको नोट करिएगा, क्योंकि जो आगे आने वाले ऑप्शंस हैं वो उनसे डिफरेंट होंगे और क्वेश्चन इनमें से पूछा जाता है कि आर्टिकल 14 में से इन वाली ग्राउंड में से कौन सी ग्राउंड नहीं है. दैट विल बी वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. Then we talk about Article 19. Article 19, as we all are aware, is talking about the protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech and expression. Now all citizens shall have the right to, अब इसमें 6 राइट्स आते हैं आर्टिकल 19 में, विथ सर्टन एग्जाम्पशंस. अब एक्सेप्शंस क्या होंगी उसकी हम बाद में बात करेंगे जब आर्टिकल 19 के ऊपर क्लियर कट डिबेट करेंगे हम. फर्स्ट राइट इज to freedom of speech and expression, then to assemble peacefully means without arms, then to form certain association or unions, then to move freely throughout the territory of India, to reside and settle in any part of India, and to practice freely any profession or to carry out on any occupation, trade or business. अब मैं आपको इसको याद करने के भी तरीके बताऊंगा, बट यू हैव टू show the patience till my next video on article 19 independently. So let's talk about article 21. Article 21 talk about the protection of life and personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. Please note this term, procedure established by law. Please note. Then now why they are called the golden triangle? Please note, they are a triangle because they need to be read together. कोर्ट कह रहा है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट कहता है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या है, who has the right to interpret the constitution. They said they need to read together, not separately. The triangle is golden because they are important. Why it is golden? Because they are important to the protection of freedom and prevention of government from its arbitrary actions. Please note this. Article 14, equality before law or the equal protection of law. Then article 19, you talk about the liberties, then certain freedoms. Then article 29, protection of life and personal liberty. Now why they are called golden? Because one thing, why they are called triangle? Because they are supposed to read together. Because what individual Indian citizen can claim its individuality only on the ground because they have been read together and they are provided certain freedoms and equality and liberty under these 3 articles. The triangle is golden because they are important for the protection of freedoms and the prevention of government from doing any and taking any arbitrary actions. Then what do these articles mean when they are, why they are necessary? The article 14 of the constitution talk about equality before law. It's a negative concept. मैंने शुरू में ही जैसे आपको कहा कि the chapter of fundamental right is negative in character because it restricts the state. Now article 14 itself is a negative concept which states that the people in similar situations should be treated alike in both privileges and liabilities imposed, whereas the concept of equal protection of law require the state to give special treatment to people in different situations in order to establish equality among all. It is positive in character in this way. Negative, that equal be treated alike and then alike be treated equal, means positive as well as negative. Therefore the necessary corollary to this would be that equal would be treated equally versus unequal would be treated unequally. So I hope आपने ये समझा. अगर आपने ये नहीं समझा तो मेरी लास्ट वीडियो जिसका मैं लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दे दूंगा, आप आर्टिकल 14 पे इंडिपेंडेंटली मेरा वीडियो देख सकते हैं. Then article 19 extends from freedom of peaceful association and freedom of speech and expression, then to practice to the trade and profession, to the residence and occupation, etc. So this is important. Then if we talk about article 21, Article 21 talk about right to life and personal liberty. Now life, that's very important to know that what life here means does not mean mere animal existence. Life here means the life with dignity. So it has a wider meaning which include right to live with human dignity, right to livelihood, right to health, etc. It is the only logical and fair for the state to impose certain rights and regulations when it comes to human life. So this applies to everyone who challenges this article and its scope. So I hope आपको ये समझ आ रहा है. मैं इस पे सेपरेट वीडियो बनाऊंगा एक. Now how this golden triangle emerges. The landmark judgment was important to know. Please note down this. Case was Menaka Gandhi versus Union of India. Now, what was the case of Menaka Gandhi? आपने सभी ने सुना है, पढ़ा है, देखा है. देखा तो नहीं होगा, सुना पढ़ा, या सोशल मीडिया का ज़माना है, उसमें आपको कुछ वीडियोस दिख भी जाते हैं. 1970s का डिकेड, जिसमें मोस्टली नोन फॉर द अथॉरिटेरियनिज्म इन इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स, which will be branded as the death of democracy and democratic institutions. The authoritarian regime of Indira Gandhi. Now, what government had done and why Menaka Gandhi case was emerged? Menaka Gandhi was supposed to move abroad for certain reasons, but the government, the passport officer, now this case is the passport officer, इनको एयरपोर्ट पे रोकते हैं और इनका पासपोर्ट जब्त कर लेते हैं. अब पासपोर्ट को जब्त करने के साथ में मेनका गांधी पूछती हैं कि भाई आपने मेरे से पासपोर्ट लिया, क्या आपको इसकी अनुमति थी? क्या कोई ऐसा इस्टाब्लिश लॉ है जो आपको ये अलाउ करता है कि आप मेरी लिबर्टी में इंटरफेयर करके आप मेरा पासपोर्ट जब्त कर लें? पासपोर्ट ऑफिसर ने उनको कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं दी. सो मेनका गांधी हैज़ टू फाइल अ रिट पिटीशन इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट. अब उस रिट पिटीशन में द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑब्जर्व दैट आर्टिकल 21 इज नॉट टू बी रीड इन आइसोलेशन. राइट, नॉट टू बी रीड इन आइसोलेशन. All violation and procedural requirement under Article 21 are to be tested for Article 14 and 19 also. क्या कहा इन्होंने कि Article 21 not to be read in isolation, it has and has met the requirement of Article 14 and 19 also. The Supreme Court in above case had adopted the widest possible interpretation of right to life and personal liberty. Means before this, the narrower interpretation of Article 21 was taken, and now the Supreme Court has widened after this. Widened first that the isolationist understanding of Article 21 was taken away. अब इसको Article 14 और 19 के साथ primarily पढ़ा जाता है. And not only Article 21, it has broadened its horizon while asking the government to amend this and put various and to redefine the Article 21. So guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution, the expression, now the expression personal liberty in Article 21 is the widest amplitude and it covers a variety of rights. Now I said it covers a variety of rights and it redefined it, which go to constitute the personal liberty of man, and some of them raised to the protection under Article 19. So means क्लब कर दिया गया आर्टिकल 3 आर्टिकल्स को 14, 21 एंड 19 एंड इनकी आइसोलेशनिज्म ख़त्म कर दिया गया. Also, with respect to the relationship between Article 19 and 21, the court held that Article 21 is controlled by Article 19. Please understand this. सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट है, उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस बताई जा रही है. अब क्या कहा इसने कि द कोर्ट ने क्या कहा, दैट आर्टिकल 21 इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय आर्टिकल 19. That is, it must therefore now be settled that Article 21 does not exclude Article 19, and that even there is a law prescribing a procedure for depriving a person of enjoyment of liberty, and there is consequently no infringement of fundamental right conferred by Article 21, such as law, insofar as it abridges or takes away any fundamental right under Article 19, because Article 19 gives you freedom, not only freedom of speech and expression, not only freedom to reside, but it also gives you the freedom to move freely. So Article 19 will have to meet the challenges of that article. Thus, a law depriving a person personal liberty has not only to stand the test of Article 21, but it must stand the test of Article 19 and 14 of the Constitution. I hope आप समझ गए होंगे. The scope of Article 14, 19 and 21 were first challenged in cases such as, अब कौन कौन से केसेस थे जिनमें तीनों का स्कोप को चैलेंज किया, बच्चन सिंह वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ पंजाब, देन कन्हैया लाल वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया, और फॉर एग्जांपल इन रिसेंट मेजर केसेस लाइक साबरीमाला केस वर्डिक्ट आपने सुना है, इसके बारे में अच्छे से पढ़ लीजिएगा, द अरुणा शानबाग केस, द सुरोगेसी बिल एंड वेरियस एंडलेस सिनेरियोज. आपको इन सभी केसेस का पता होना चाहिए कि इसमें गवर्नमेंट का स्टैंड कैसे लिया और इन केसेस में कौन कौन से आर्टिकल्स को चैलेंज किया गया या इंटरप्रेट किया गया. Article 21 of the Constitution has been in question quite a few times when deciding historic cases. For example, when the question of mercy killing means euthanasia. So, when we're talking about mercy killing, euthanasia arises. It's hard to choose one's right to live with dignity. One's right to live with dignity. आप यूथनेशिया के कॉन्सेप्ट को प्लीज़ पढ़ लीजिएगा और इंडियन सिनेरियो में कौन कौन से केसेस हैं यूथनेशिया को लेके वो भी पढ़ लीजिएगा, उनकी एक लिस्ट बना लीजिएगा. और वंस राइट टू लाइफ. देन देयर इज द क्वेश्चन relating to religious rights such as women's right to enter into the prayer issue, like for example triple talaq or the Sabrimala case. प्लीज़ इन चीज़ों को अच्छे से समझिएगा. Now, in conclusion, it can be said that the observation that these three articles play a major role in the development and the all-round enjoyment of certain rights by the individual, and that it can restrict that these three rights can restrict the state negatively for taking any authoritarian steps, and they are important for establishing a pure procedural democratic setup where the rights, the equality, liberty, fraternity and enjoyment of certain liberties be ensured. But now, important question, who was the judge who gave, which you have to take. Now, अब आपको यही मैं आगे का वीडियो पूरा मैं इस चीज़ों को कवर ना करके आपको बोलूँगा कि आपको पता क्या करना है कि जज कौन था जिसने गोल्डन ट्रायंगल का इशू दिया था. अब मैं आपको एक क्लू देता हूँ जो इसने कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप किया, डिफाइन किया. इन जस्टिस चंद्रचूड़, जो अभी प्रेजेंट जज हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के, इनके फादर का नाम आपको पता करना है. उन्होंने ये कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ गोल्डन ट्रायंगल दिया एंड द केस 1980 का केस है, ये याद रखना आपको, मिनर्वा मिल केस. इसके साथ गोल्डन ट्रायंगल का क्या रिलेशन है, और पर्टिकुलरली मिनर्वा मिल केस में आर्टिकल 14, 19, 21 और डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी एंड फंडामेंटल राइट की जब डिबेट चल रही थी कि विच वन इज सुपीरियर, तो तब क्या कहा गया, ये आपको मेरे डिस्क्रिप्शन और कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखना है. I'll be requesting you again and again, please feel free to ask your any doubt and question in the comment box. Write personal to me and write on my Facebook page, write on my Instagram page. Send a simple message. We will be clearing all your doubts. For that, you need to subscribe and share this video more and more. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting and for having patience with us. We will be coming soon. Thank you. Thank you so much.